Have you ever heard a song that was actually written for good cops? No, right? Me neither. Until I heard this song by C5. And you know what? It's pretty good. Let me give you a sneak peek. Listen up.
The world bash y'all, but in trouble you who we call. Wanna let you know that we appreciate you truly. Long live the great cops that died in the line of duty. Overworked,
I
underpaid.
partnered up with my friend Mike to sit down and have a conversation with C5 to not only thank him for the encouraging words, but also to find out why he did it. And I want to share that conversation with you guys. Come on.
Trying to do your job. You just trying to feed the fam. It ain't easy being a cop. You gotta be one to understand. All the ones that's legit. Don't trip, I got your six.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Listen, I am excited. I am collaborating today with my boy Mike with the L.E.O podcast. We have a amazing guest. As you guys know, my name is Officer Jill with the Human Side Podcast. I have a great guest by the name of C5. We want to welcome here C5. Listen, thank you so much for coming. Short notice. Mike put it together.
I'm out here just winging it, making it one move at a time. I seen your
Yes.
video online, and I know if people haven't seen it on IG at the official C5, I recommend it. Whether they're law enforcement or non, it's amazing, man. Like I was telling you, the algorithm is what brought me to the video. And when I saw it, I was like, I don't share a lot of other people's videos, especially law enforcement type ones. So I kind of just minimized that. And when I saw yours, I was so like taken back. I was like, I said, not wasn't just like good, it was thought provoking, because it's not very common that you see people that are not in law enforcement take time out of their business, because I know you have a music industry business, and say, you know what, I'm going to appreciate the people that protect us. And sometimes it's hard. I think you even made a follow-up post or story about the kind of flack you received.
Right.
So right when you put it, I was like, "Ooh, how much?" Because I'm not a comment reader. I don't read comments. Like I do not read people's comments. My son, 13, he reads every comment. He's like, "Dad, read the comments," and not yours, just in general. But just when you made that video, like I felt that, because as law enforcement officers, we know how it feels to kind of step out in front, especially against opposition, and then still have to be respectful. And I thought you did a great job. So sorry, I know it wasn't supposed to be to jump in this fast,
No,
but man,
you're good.
the video was amazing. And I was like, if I can get
Yeah.
C5 on my podcast, and then I did Jill's podcast, I was like, this would be magical,
Yeah.
especially here in LA.
Yeah. And we'll give people explanation. So what he did, C5, he wrote a song. He's an artist, he's a rapper, and he wrote a song basically, I don't say praising, but showing some appreciation towards officers. And like you said, it's very rare, if not ever, I've seen someone go to these links that's outside of the police world. It's one thing when it's people who serve in the industry, but for someone who doesn't, it was very appreciative. I did go to the comments.
Oh man, don't go
I
to the
did.
comments.
And I went to the comments
Goodness.
because I was thinking like, yo, I know he's gonna get some backlash for this. And I wanted to
Surely.
see. And I did see there was a lot of officers, and I'm sure you saw it, that showed a lot of appreciation.
Yeah.
Those little things, you don't realize those little things to us, they're huge. It's like even I don't say often, but sometimes even like if I'm out getting Starbucks or whatever, someone will come up and offer to pay my drink. But you don't realize those are big gestures that mean a lot to us, because we're used to not getting support or backing. So when you do those things, it's kind of a show of like, yo, we're with you. We appreciate what you do, right? And so just kind of want to throw it out there. And I know him and I both are thinking, yo, we both just want to know what made you write it.
Well, maybe
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're gonna get a chance to talk, C5. Don't worry.
Right.
We just had to warm you up to it.
Yeah.
Man, well, first, thank y'all for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Mhm.
I feel like this is, God is all in the midst of this. But man, what compelled me to write it is, I had an officer, like, cause I do like tributes.
Okay.
So I do tributes for, just for like regular civilians to, celebrities that are pushing light and love in the world. So that's something that I do, that I've been doing for the last couple years. And I had a thought to do one for the police like a few years ago, right?
Okay.
So from a tribute, an officer reached out to me and he wanted to, get a tribute done. And, I chopped it up with him, and he from Chicago PD. His name,
Huh.
His name Carl Michael Lewis.
Okay.
So
We're talking about Chicago PD recently, so go ahead.
Yeah.
It's rough out there.
Yeah, shout out Carl Michael, man. He out there doing his thing. And, you know, we got on a call. And, man, just real stand-up brother, family man. He got a nonprofit called Youth Blue and United. And, man, we became friends. And he just, you know, I be asking a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions for y'all today, too.
We're
man.
ready.
Like,
Yes.
I'm interviewing y'all interviewing me.
Yes,
today.
let's do it. Let's do it.
But and you know, he just he showed me like man, like they humans, man. Like, and he was just cool. He wasn't the stigma.
Mm.
And he just told me about y'all experience. As far as like a lot of the details in the song,
Mhm.
that was from our conversations. Him telling me that.
Cool.
That's why, like, I got your 6, and you
Yeah.
know.
I caught that.
I was like, you do a lot. I was like,
yeah.
ChatGPT don't tell you all of that now. I said, you do too many of the good terms. I was like, man, he get his
Right.
information from somewhere, so that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah, so man,
Yes.
Carl Michael was a big. I would say he was like a collaborator. You know, like a ghost collaborator on there because he was telling me the information, and I just put it into song form.
Mm.
And yeah, man, I ain't gonna lie, it's nervous like stepping out like that. But always think of the scripture, Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind,
Yeah.
that you may prove the perfect and acceptable will of God. And I feel like it's such a conformity to say F the police, you know. It's so I had Carmichael that inspired me, but also my own view on it. You know, I never like had this hatred towards the police. Like, to be honest, I never had a hatred towards like nothing. Like, to hate something or somebody, that is heavy.
Heavy.
And it's not doing nothing for the person that is cultivating that hate inside them. It's hurting them. It's not hurting the one you hate. It's hurting you. So I never was with that F the police. When I got pulled over, I had interactions with cool cops. I had interactions with not so cool officers.
That's fair. Yeah, we can call him that. Yeah.
Yeah, but regardless of the situation, like, I see it as, why I'm gonna get bucked with the cops? Like, y'all got one up on us. It's like you know what I'm saying. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. You know what I'm saying?
Literally, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, why I'm gonna get bucked? They doing their job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is it cool if I go in my glove compartment?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hand you to my stuff, and I'm gonna get up out of it. I've gotten out of there every situation safely, just from my view on it. But in addition to that, though, I did grow up I was in the streets. I was a former gang member
Okay.
back in Oakland,
Okay.
and so
Richmond. I know Oakland. You said. Huh?
Oakland, yeah, Oakland. But yeah, even then, it was never this hatred towards the police or anybody. And you know, I ended up turning my life around, and man, like,
Mhm.
it's funny because I got a song called Black Guy where I'm actually like speaking like against the police brutality, and then now I got Thank You Officer.
Right.
But both sides can be true. You know, two things can be true at once.
It's true.
So yeah, like, that's what I'm all about, is just my brand, The Other Side, is to, you know, open people's minds, help you see the other side of things, the other side of life, and then you could create a different experience. So there's always two sides to a story, and I don't think the police is just an entity. It's neutral. It's the people that make the thing, but the whole thing ain't one thing, because you know what I'm saying? Because if one person, or you know, it's a couple bad ones, and you know. So yeah, that was my thought process, and yeah, man, I just was really being obedient to God. Like, God be telling me to do stuff, and I just be obedient. Whatever come with it, I'm with it.
It is
All right. So what's come with it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. So go ahead. Tell us that, because I know, like I said, we talked about the story. I don't think you made a separate post. I know you at least made a story about what you've been receiving. So how's that been feeling?
Man, you know, I focus on positivity.
Correct.
You know, so I feel like the positive has overshadowed any type of negative. So yeah, I got some negative comments, like people in the comments arguing. I had somebody close to me actually like writing paragraphs on my posts.
Yeah.
Somebody that I looked up to, which was kind of disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. But I think it's good that there's conversation
Right.
around it. I think if anybody's saying something about it, whatever they saying is good, because I still planted the seed in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I still planted the
Mhm.
seed, and I'm gonna let God do the growing.
Right.
But
And
yeah,
watering. Yeah. There you go.
yeah, I'm not here to keep people asleep. I'm here to wake people up, and I feel
like
like some people got woke up.
Mm-hmm.
I had somebody comment, man, not gonna lie, when I first seen it, I was like, nah, but then as I listened, I kind of understood. So yeah, I'm proud of that.
That's
Yeah.
And that, that's part of what both our podcasts do, the human side and the L.E.O. First podcast, because we want to humanize the badge.
Mm-hmm.
We want to show people that, yes, sometimes you see a uniform and you might have a negative stigma or you may not like what you see, but at the end of the day, they're still people.
Right.
And just like we all have to go to Ralph's or some other gas station or whatever that looks like and shop, it's all the same. Just some people, it depends on what uniform you're on. You shouldn't be judged by your uniform. You should be judged on who you are as a person. And that's what we try to do. We try to bring out that other side. Like, hey, our people, whether inside or outside law enforcement, we're dealing with stuff. And we like the appreciation. We like to help others out. It's just a different way to do it. And somebody has to do it. Like, that's what people are just like. And I always tell people, nobody's perfect.
Right.
Like, at the end of the day, nobody has no matter what industry you're in, we will always find good apples and bad apples.
Right.
And the downside with us is that since we're always on the front, like, it's funny. It's like some people hate us, but then they make TV shows about us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What you mean?
Like so there's a show called what is it called? SVU. Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
Their
Special
main
Victims Unit.
investigator, what was he saying about the police in the 80s?
The main investigator?
I don't watch SBU either. I'm sorry. I don't watch
Sergeant Tutuola.
They're too fake for me. I don't
Yeah.
watch them.
Ice-T. Ice-T.
Oh, yeah,
there
what
you
about
go.
him?
Remember the song he's been going there? And how long has he been a cop? On TV.
On TV.
Oh, that's deep.
Think about it.
But maybe he
Yeah.
woke up.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what we tell people. There's two sides to everything. And sometimes you may have a certain perception, but something happened in his life where now he's like, you know what? He's been a cop on TV for 30 years. But in the 80s, I mean, NWA, I mean, that's
Yeah,
it's
that's
and the
true.
same here.
He wasn't in NWA.
But he was part of the whole part of it. That's what I'm saying. Like he was part of everything going on with that. Like he wasn't promoting the police back then. But now you come back and it's like people don't understand like what we do no matter what is to help others. Sometimes we slip off. No. Sometimes we slip off, but we're not trying to slip off. We're always trying to build and grow.
Yeah. Right.
But see, I feel like sometimes the community want to be so mad at y'all. Like they'll SVU, they're saving kids or people that's been raped, and so that's honorable.
That's okay.
That's honorable.
Yeah.
But if we getting these murderers and these gang members, then it's all bad.
When you get my nephew that's slanging, that's hustling on the street,
All right.
now it's a different story, right? Because all he doing is trying to make money.
Right.
Right?
In the process, you poisoning the community, and
Yes.
that's what it comes with. So you can't be mad at, if I'm committing crimes, I can't be mad at the cops, but for doing their job. That's just what the life is.
Can I ask you? You said so. You back in Oakland, you used to be in gangs. What changed that trajectory?
So, before I even jumped off the porch in that life, like already observed and seen that there's no future to this. The future is literally go to jail or end up in
Dead.
or dead.
There's not a true retirement plan, no.
No.
There's not a 401k or a
No,
pension,
no.
typically.
No, I don't know any successful,
Right.
gang members or drug dealers. Like even if you watch the movies, like in the movies it shows the end. I would see that, and I was like, all right, like I'm not about to be doing this forever. But I also had this feeling of wanting to be accepted, wanting to being a part of something. And that's what really, like, that was the main driver. Like, I just want to be accepted. I want to be a part of something. Like, but what was the question?
What moved you from the change of trajectory of you following or staying in the gang and following that street life?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just seeing seeing the outcome of it.
Yeah.
So I was always, while I was in it, I was always still positioning myself to make a departure.
At some
And
point, huh?
absolutely, yeah. And college, man, saved me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, college definitely
Where'd you end
saved
up
me.
going for college?
Cal State Dominguez Hill. So out here, that
Okay. I was
college
hoping
just
Florida
got
State
me
University,
here.
but that's over in Florida, so that's where I went to college at. So I was hoping FSU, but okay, I thought you were a Seminole. I was just excited. I thought I knew it was a long
It was a
shot.
Toro. It was a
Yeah.
Toro, right? Cal State, aren't they Toros?
Yeah,
I
they
think so,
up
yeah.
Toros, man. Shout out Cal State
There you
Dominguez.
go.
Name's
I love
out,
another.
man.
That's what I'm talking about. Rep that.
Yeah, it changed my life. It's
Yeah.
so funny when I first got to the campus though, I'm fresh out the streets. I'm on
Mhm.
campus sagging solo. I just got that mentality. And I'm thinking in my head, man, everybody here weird. Like,
They're weird, right?
they're weird.
Yes.
And then I had a reality check, like, no, I'm the weird one. Like, I'm the one closed off and reserved. Like, I'm still in the streets. Like, then when I shifted my mind, my experience changed.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was it going to college that shifted it, or was there something in particular that's like, you know what, and the light switch just turned, or you say it was just gradually, like, hey, I'm just gonna slowly get out of this and see what happens? Because you said you moved from Oakland to LA for school.
Yeah.
Was it something specific or nothing? It just kind of gradually went into it.
Yeah, I think it was like, sometimes something just, I think it's always gradually happening, but sometimes you
Just
remember the
click.
click
Yep.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely remember that click moment where I was like, man, I'm the weird one.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I can't stop thinking like this.
Yeah.
I gotta move on. I can't carry the street mentality to a college. Like I don't have to look over my shoulder anymore. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That's
True.
over.
True.
So yeah, I think definitely the college experience and wanting to have a pleasant and fruitful experience,
Mhm.
that definitely changed.
How was it like in the beginning, like when you got into college, like making friends, like with that mindset?
Yeah.
I wasn't making no friends.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I was like, it sounded like you were just there going to chow by
Folks
yourself,
were
like you were
scared. They
like
were
you were going
like-
to you were going to eat by yourself. Taco Tuesday was you by yourself getting quarter tacos.
Yeah. They were
Man.
scared. Everybody on campus was scared of you, huh? Because you walking around probably mean mugging people, huh?
Yeah, or thinking I'm weird.
Did you stay on campus?
I did. I was in the dorms.
Oh, and the dorm
Oh.
life. You have full on.
So you just went all
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
have
You just went
full
all the way
Oh,
on campus, like
it
you were.
It was a huge shift.
How was your
That's
roommate?
what's up.
How was that person?
They was cool. I had some cool roommates.
Okay, was he good? Okay, was they cool? Yeah, because I'm wondering, like I said, 'cause you said, you start looking around, and obviously sometimes we adapt to who we're closest to, like in this case proximity, because you're in the same room or same,
Right.
however, whatever y'all call it. Because I never stayed on campus, but you're in the same area, so you start seeing how they behave and how their styles are, and they just want C5. That's who they want. They don't care about whatever you had up there in Oakland. They want you down here. So I guess however they were, that's kind of how you start to adapt.
I've always been a leader. I just
Mhm.
open my mind up. Just having an open mind could just change everything.
Have you always wanted to be a rapper?
Yeah, I knew that when I was
Yeah?
when I was 13. It's funny. Like, so I was 13 when I made my first song.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
and the song was called "Strapped Up." Strapped up, right? Crazy.
Strapped
They gotta start
up,
somewhere. Everybody
huh?
gotta start somewhere.
Strapped
Yeah.
up, and the power of the tongue is so real because
Hmm.
like I didn't have a strap at the time, but
You
man,
were
shortly
talking about
after
it,
that,
huh?
I had one.
Wow, really?
Power of the tongue.
That's
Yeah.
a trip. And that's probably what you were doing as far as getting in the gangs. You got strapped up in the gang.
Yeah, that it all
You
led
spoke
to
it into
that.
existence from your one song.
Right.
That's a trip.
Spoke it into, yep.
That
So-
is a trip.
So what kind of impact are you seeing now with some of the music you're making outside of the thank you song for officers? I know
Mhm.
you do a lot of like God-based songs. Like I've heard some of your things like through Instagram.
Mm.
How are you seeing that impacting people as well?
Oh man. The messages that I receive just on a daily basis, it's I don't even know the word. It's just mind blowing that just like God is real, how he just shifted me and it was like right when this is really who I am, like the strapped up and doing like, the street life. Like that's not who I am at my core. Like I love people, man. I love even in the streets, like I wasn't even trying to I wasn't them dudes trying to go hurt nobody. You know, I'm just trying to get some money. But
Yeah.
you know, when you in it,
Yeah, certain things you gotta do.
Right.
right?
You
Yeah,
gotta play the role.
you
You gotta
can't
play the role.
just yeah.
You can't just dip your toe in the water. You
Yeah.
gotta be all the way swimming.
Right.
Right, like with a cop, like y'all can't just
Mhm.
pick and choose what cases y'all want to show up to, or you know, like
Someone calls, we're showing up.
Yeah.
right,
You
right,
can't fake it.
right, man. But man, I just know I'm doing what I'm supposed to now, and it's funny, like right when I really started embracing like my true self and who I am, like 100%, like what you see on Instagram, what you is what you gonna get in person, and every conversation I have, like it's gonna be at a certain standard. I'm not talking about women like this over here, and then I'm disrespecting them, disrespecting over here. Like everything is in alignment. But yeah, when I started, becoming that, becoming more like everything started taking off with my career,
Mhm.
and just like naturally, like I don't even pay for I ain't paid for an ad in I don't know how many years, and just like God just be like, I got hundreds of thousands of streams on Spotify and views on Instagram, and it's just me being
Yeah.
me. And
They call that favor, right? It's called favor when God blesses you. It's called favor. And something that my pastor says all the time is favor ain't fair. Meaning when you're doing the will of God, he's gonna bless you in ways that he may not bless everybody else. So I know you've been on stages with Snoop. You opened up for some pretty big names.
yeah.
What has that been like?
It was cool. It was cool, but it ain't more fulfilling than
Than doing your own thing, kind of thing, or what?
like I'm grateful for them time. I learned
Yeah.
a lot, but like that ain't like I'm grateful for. I'm gonna just say I'm grateful for it,
So
man.
so
That's cool.
so what's the big
It don't give
picture?
me goosebumps like
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what's the big what is the big picture for the other side? Like let's say you took your company and you're like, man, if I can hit these milestones in the next 5 years, that's where I want to see myself. 'Cause obviously, I talk about being a visionary. So when people are watching and they're trying to think about how to even support you more, obviously this is more of a law enforcement based show. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have people that watch. Like, what would you want to see or hope that will come from this podcast that'll help the other side grow even bigger than what it is today?
What do I want to get from this podcast?
Or just in general, yeah, like what kind of support or what kind of like what do you think we can do from the law enforcement side to keep pushing like good voices like yours that's obviously supporting what we're doing?
Man, I think we doing it now, and I seen that you had some other interviews with people who wasn't fond of
Mm-hmm.
the police. So I feel like we doing the work, like right now. Like people gonna see this. Like my audience gonna see this, and you know they gonna it's gonna be planting seeds. So we just got to keep planting the seeds. I think we doing the
Yeah,
work though.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's sometimes simple things like I said, we're always on the same pace of how do we keep building, like we said early on, like how do we keep making that positive impact?
Yeah.
And something I said on her podcast the other day is either going to be part of the problem or part of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is part of the solution.
Mm-hmm.
This definitely
Yeah.
bridging the gap. It's
Yeah.
like, man, I would much rather the police be my ally than an enemy.
And I'll tell you, as police, we would prefer for the community to be our ally
Yeah, that's true.
as opposed to the enemy
Yeah.
as well. Like at the end of the day, we need the community. Like legit, right? Like we're not there 24/7. Or at least we can't be everywhere 24/7, right? We're constantly working. It's a 24-hour shift, right? There's always cars, but we can't be in every particular area at the same time. And that's where we rely on the community to tell us what's going on in the neighborhoods, right? Or is there someone selling drugs here? Or, is someone being trafficked in this area? Tell us that. We need the community's help to do our job well. So we feel the same way. And I say that often too, is that a lot of times we want the same things.
Like what? Like what?
As far as we want, as police officers, we want to have the communities we serve be able to enjoy their community, right? You live there. We don't want you to live there afraid, right? We want to make sure we create that environment for you. People who live there, what do they want? They want to live unafraid. They want to have a good quality of life, right? We want those same things. And we've made that sacrifice to essentially put our life on the line to make sure or to try to create that for you. That same idea, that same vision of living a quality of life. But I think sometimes we get clouded by emotion, right? By things that we see in the media, and it prevents us from seeing that. And the name of my show, The Human Side, it prevents us from seeing each other as humans who really want the same things. we want to live peacefully.
Yeah. It's a lot of programming going on, you
Yeah.
know. I feel like, it's programmed at a young age for people to grow up and hate the police. Like the media perpetuates that stigma.
Yeah.
So it's like it's sad. So you don't see the good acts, all the good stuff y'all doing, like
Yeah.
good people. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, it's
This might be a little deep, and I asked Mike this yesterday. We talked about it. Do you think? And
I love
obviously-
going deep, by the way.
All right, let's
Yeah,
go there then.
let's go all the way.
Obviously, we're all black here, and we all know that the relationship between black folks and police is probably, well, I'll say minorities, but particularly black folks, hasn't always been the best. Do you think? And I asked Mike this. Do you think that as black folks, do you think this bad negative perspective, does it come from the, I guess, the teaching of the trauma that we've experienced, like even before, like let's say, I don't know, 2 generations ago, let's say like your grandma or your great uncle or so whoever told you about the police? Do you think that is what is contributing to the programming, as you call it, or what do you think? Like when you say programming, what does that mean to you?
Man, it could be a lot of things. It could be what we see in the media, on the
Mhm.
movies, what our community is saying.
Mhm.
I kind of even look at it like this. It's synonymous kind of with gang culture, right? Like
Mhm.
you get in a gang, and then now you don't like this group of people because the people in your gang told you that we don't
Not
like
to like 'em.
we hate them. So you don't even know why you hate them, and now you develop this hate. Now you want to go kill somebody. You want to go unalive somebody just because your homie don't like them. Like it don't, So it's the same thing with the police. Like, oh, my uncle don't like the police. My
Mhm.
friends in the neighborhood don't like the police. On the media, they always saying F the police, and they're not seen as, you know, cool to be cool with them or like them.
Yeah.
So I'ma hate them too.
All right.
It's like you become what you around. So that's why, I took the step to, show the world something different, and hopefully somebody else after me. I like what Tupac said, like, I might not be the one to change the world, but I'm gonna spark
There you
some
go.
lights,
There you go.
and
Fox.
even like I want to ask y'all,
Go for it.
because like most people would, in the streets, who don't have like a mind as open as their mind hasn't been opened yet,
Mhm.
they would think like, oh man, like you somebody going to apply for police, that's cowardly or whatever. But that's one of the most courageous acts. Like I know y'all, like I want to hear like what made y'all want to be police, and what was the trepidation that you experienced before taking that step?
Who want to go first? You want
You
to
go
first?
ahead.
I'll go
Go ahead.
first.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for me, I wanted to be a cop ever since the 3rd grade. I know the exact moment. I can't tell you the date, but I remember I was in the 3rd grade, and I don't know how old are you? You might not. Do you remember the DARE program?
The what program?
Oh,
No,
Dare.
no, we
Dare.
old.
Dare.
We're
Oh,
old.
Dare.
Yeah, D-A-R-E,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm
the DARE
32.
program, there you go.
Okay, there you
Yeah,
go.
I remember
Yeah.
Dare.
The DARE program came to our school, right? And it was always the police there, and they would have all their, cars and everything. And we were all outside on the blacktop, like an assembly, old school elementary. And the officer asked, who wants to come in and talk on the loudspeaker? And of course, every kid's hand went up, and for whatever reason, he picked me. And so I remember going that day, sitting in the police car, my feet are like dangling, and I go to talk on the loudspeaker, and I turn the sirens on, and in that moment, I just fell in love. I just fell in love with the whole idea of being a police officer, right? And that was the juvenile version of it. As I got older and more mature and started to learn more about the system, I still believe that officers were heroes. However, I also understood that there was a different justice system for people that look like me. And so instead of complaining, I wanted to be part of the solution, like we talked about, right? I wanted to be, if there was change that really needed to be had, I wanted to be a part of that change, and I didn't have a lot of examples. I didn't, where I lived, the sheriffs patrolled my area, and I can't recall ever seeing a Black female officer. But that desire, and like you mentioned, God put something in you, you can't ignore it. It's hard to ignore it when it's so deeply rooted. And so it was in me, and that was always the plan. I mean, my parents told me I had to go to school first, right? So that's what I did, right? Went to school first, and it worked out because I think during that process it helped me mature more to be able to do the job. But yeah, I wanted to do it ever since I was a kid. And as far as the trepidation, um, I will say I wasn't necessarily scared of being a cop. I did definitely got some pushback, right? People call you Uncle
Was
Tom.
it like your family or your friends?
No, my family was actually very supportive. They're very supportive of me doing it, other than the fact that it was dangerous, right? That was the only concern that my parents had. Like, oh, it's so dangerous, something nothing happened to you, right? But they didn't want me to do it because it was policing. I will say though, my first few years, they were challenging working in, because I worked in South LA, and there were more than enough times where I was called a traitor. Now I sold out. And my partner, well, not during that time, but when we used to work in Venice, my partner was Black, and we used to get it all the time. We used to get it all the time. He used to call my partner Uncle Tom, and so it took some time for me to adjust and understand. I'll be honest, to understand that they weren't necessarily mad at me; they were mad at the badge. They were upset at what I represented, right? So that's, I would say, the only challenge as far as policing. But I had a lot of support from my family, though.
Hmm. Man, I that was beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
For sure.
I want to point something out. It was so powerful when you said the officer was in your third grade class, right? And he asked if anybody wanted to speak on the speaker. All the hands went up.
All the hands.
That says a lot,
Right?
That speaks volumes.
Mhm.
Maybe that's before the programming began to
Yeah.
happen.
I think officers were definitely more heroes back then. They were more seen as more heroes. I think it's kind of shifted a little bit now, where our young kids may not see it as much. Maybe, and I could be wrong.
The program is getting deeper.
I think it's the algorithms. It's what's going to decide on what some of these kids are thinking about nowadays, because the algorithms is going to push what you view. So, like I said, the algorithm push your video to me because I watch positive videos on law enforcement.
Yeah, facts.
But if I'm looking for videos of law enforcement doing wrong, those are the videos I'm going to see. And then we know what social media is designed to give you information, not request information from you. They're trying to push the narrative. That's because how do you get more likes and comments? That's what social media is.
Yeah.
They want to do the shares. They want the reposts. So
Right.
if you start going down a path as a young person and you start watching negative videos on police, that's what you're going to keep seeing.
Yeah.
And then after a while, now you're programmed. So when you do encounter a cop or you encounter law enforcement, now you're like, oh, you must be that a-hole from how that person, Oregon or Michigan or L.A., because that's all you've been seeing.
Yeah.
So I think I think in person, because I still deal with a lot of people that do like schools and they do that the school program is there. The DARE is there.
Yeah.
It's just,
Different
I think
version of it.
social media is going to overtake some of that because a lot of our kids are on social media. And that's what they're seeing, the YouTube videos, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, anything you can think of. Once their algorithm goes down that path of any negative videos, that's why I wanted to push yours, because yours was positive. That's the path they're going to be on for a while, because that's what social media wants you to do. So the programming side is tough. So I think that there's still a lot of good in-person live law enforcement programs out there, but it's the virtual side, the technology side, that I think is going to hurt us.
It remind me of the quote, like what you see expands, or what you see sees you.
Yeah.
And I also want to mention too, it wasn't just like this, I'm going to get in and try to change things. I did have a desire to help people. I should probably mention that too. I do have a heart for people, just like you said. I love people.
But you have
I
to.
really do. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't do this
yeah.
job and not care about people, or you can't do it well.
You have to
You're
love
not
rap
gonna
to
last
rap.
long.
Like, because
Yeah.
what you do, it takes a lot of work. And like a lot of people only see the finished product. They only see what you post or what you're
Yeah.
doing in person. They don't know all the hours you spent
Right.
writing, all the hours you spent practicing, all the hours you mixed one verse to another to make sure it flowed. Like, it's a lot of work. So you have to have that care to be in this industry. You have to have that passion to do what you do for so long. And I think when people see that and they look at their own lives and they say, okay, what am I passionate about? That's when they truly can reflect on what it took for them to get there. But it's about us trying to get them to that mindset. Like, hey, whatever you're passionate about, it took time. What we all do, it took time to get there. But we love what we do.
Yeah.
That's why we do these podcasts. That's why you rap. I do my speaking. You do the your law enforcement. It's just what we all do to try to make that difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And you gotta tell us now. Why
Yeah.
Mine is. I remember the exact date. It was June 17th, 1994. My family and I were watching our big screen TVs. You probably didn't have this, but the TVs that started on the floor and went all the way up. Remember the big screen TVs that started on the floor? Not the ones that hung on the wall.
I know
Like,
what
yeah,
you're talking
okay,
about.
that's the big
With the
screen TV
big
we were watching.
old
Yeah,
back.
box. Yes.
Yeah,
It took 3 people or 4 people to lift into the house.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what we had. And live from L.A., the news comes in, and it's the police chasing a white Ford Bronco.
Oh wow.
Driven by
O.J.
O.J.
Simpson.
Simpson. And I remember that day was the day I was going to become a cop. Like, I knew it. Like, from that point
That's so
forward,
interesting.
yeah, from that point, I don't know if it was the chase, the trial, or if the gloves don't fit, you must have quit. But I knew what I was going to do. And I studied in high school, and then eventually I went to college. I studied there. And I didn't really have any true, because I had the family support. Like, everybody was happy. They were just happy I was getting a good job.
Yeah.
Because my mother, she worked at Bell South, which was 411 and Kmart. Like, we were not from a family that made a lot. So even becoming a cop was giving us an income, a family income. And I didn't really have any trepidation probably until I got into the field. And when I started to go to certain calls, and we were talking about this at dinner yesterday, it would be like me and a group of white cops. And if we went to a neighborhood that was all black, they would only talk to me.
Wait,
The black community.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Even-
that caused division.
And
between
even
you
when
and
I
the
was,
white-
and even, well, it didn't really cause because the white guys were used to it, but you could tell, like, they're like, oh, we don't want to talk to him. And I'm a rookie. Like, so I started to see that early, and that's when it really, like, and this was in the mid 2000s. So I saw that divide, and I would still hear the different name calling and stuff like that. But what really made it tough for me was I can't just go to every call and be the only person that people are talking to.
Yeah.
Like, I have to create a secondary environment. Like, hey, these guys can be trusted. So now I got to not just build trust with me. Now I have to build trust with the other police officers there. Like, 'cause I want the community to say, hey, whoever shows up to the call, like, we're trying to help you out.
Yeah.
So for me, that was probably one of the hardest things to do is, like, how do you manage the black community and the police? Because, like she says, you get there, we're kind of like the middle people.
Right.
Because they're looking at us saying, okay, you trust them, but should we trust you?
Yeah.
You trust them.
The community's looking at, should we trust they're looking at us saying, should we trust the white cops? But they're looking at us kind of for that, kind of like
To
a parent.
affirm that.
Like,
almost,
'cause-
right?
yeah, like affirm, like you know,
Yeah.
a parent's like, oh, like, you know, as kids, like, we look up to our parents, and sometimes it's like we see danger and we're looking at them to see if it's okay.
Yeah.
So as black cops, dealing with black community and white cops, it's like, okay, sometimes the black community will look and say, okay, should we trust them?
Wow.
So, like, we're stuck, like, we're not just trying to build the uniform up, we're trying to build the different, like, race divides as well. And sometimes it's tough to do because you're tired already. You're just like, oh my gosh, now I gotta. Cause then they're saying certain things about them, and the community saying certain things about the cops and stuff like that. And you're like, hey, I know this is a good dude. We spend time together. Like we have barbecues together. Like, he saved, like, my life. Like, we've done things, but it's always a battle of. I think it still happens today. I'm not on the streets anymore, but I'm pretty sure if we went and surveyed a few cops that were in certain communities and certain people
Probably get the
showed
same
up,
response.
yeah, I could see it because, like she said, we still have that generational mindset that not everybody can trust the cops. Even if they haven't had a bad personal experience, maybe what they've seen on social media, or maybe they've heard it from their granduncle or their grandma, and they're like, you can't trust them. It's like, no. So I think that's been the biggest trepidation for me, is just kind of being that middle person. Even when like I don't want to be the middle person, but I understand what I need to do. Like I understand when I get to a call or I'm dealing with the community and there's reservations from them about who I'm with, I know that I have to be the positive person. Like this isn't a time for me to try to just boost myself up. It's like, well, no, we're all in this together. Like we're here to help you out. We, the blue or green or
Right.
dark black uniforms, we're all here to help you out. Whatever uniform it is, we want to help you out. And I think that's one of the hard things that people don't see. A lot of people don't even write about that as I think about it now. A lot of times you won't see this conversation on the PowerPoint slide because it's one of the things that isn't studied because I don't think it's I don't see professors studying what we're talking about right now. But if you're a cop and you're a minority of any type, you know what that means. Like even like I said with your video, you're trying to defend your video, and it's like you're like the middle person. You
Right.
create a video about thank the officer, and they're like, wait, why should we trust officers? So you're now that middle person.
But I wasn't saying trust the
Or thank let me clarify that. Or thank
Thank
yeah.
him.
Well, no, but what I'm saying,
I
just
think
even
we should move with discernment about trusting anybody.
Okay.
Correct.
Fair.
correct. But even the thanking side.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, just be thankful that somebody shows up.
Yeah.
Because if you have something going on and nobody shows up, you're gonna be more upset.
Yeah, or it was more so too for, the officers. Like, I'm filling out the end. I don't know y'all personally, but
Right.
the officers like y'all who are, doing good, that are honoring, like giving some honor to the
Correct.
badge.
Yeah.
Which lead me to my next question. Like there was a lot of people in the comments. They was like, what about, there's good ones, but they don't be speaking up on the bad ones or the ones that's not so good. What's y'all take on that, and what's y'all experience with those bad apples, and y'all the good, y'all trying to do right, and those other ones? What's y'all experience with that?
I will say that nothing's worse than a bad cop, right? And I'm not gonna act like there aren't any, and there definitely are bad cops.
Did you make that comment on my post? Because somebody
No.
said the exact same thing. Maybe that's.
I don't think so.
that's
No,
just how
but
y'all
it's just
feel.
something.
That is how we
Yeah.
think. We do.
Yeah.
A few of us do say because we've had to explain this
Right.
before in different say. Not he like we.
We've had these
And
conversations.
you're in 20 plus years, 15 plus years.
Yeah.
You find yourself saying it more often than what you
Yes.
realize.
Okay.
Yes, it's definitely a question that people say all the time. It's a rebuttal. Like, well, what about the bad cops, right?
Yeah. Why is it
Well,
nothing worse than a bad cop?
Because one, if that bad cop is with you, chances are you can get in trouble because of that bad cop because of their mistake, right? And I'll just say, even for my agency, it is our actual policy that if you witness misconduct and you don't report it, you get in trouble just as bad as the person who did the misconduct, right? So that's one thing. Two, the bad cop does exactly what we're talking about as far as it creates misconception, and it represents us in a bad light, which makes our job more difficult. It puts another block on that fence of lack of trust. And now you just made my job so much harder. Now I can't serve this community well because you just did what you did. You just made me look bad. I have to take on all this slack because of the bad cop. And that's my perspective. Like I said, I can't sit here and tell you that, you know what, I've seen this guy did this and I didn't do anything. Thankfully, I haven't been in a position where I've had to be like, yo, I gotta dime this guy out. And I'll be honest, it could be a very challenging position to be in.
Cause then is it like a thing where then if you dime them out, the other cops don't trust you,
Yes.
and it can create
Absolutely. Absolutely. You a snitch. Just like on the street, right?
Wow.
I'll just be real.
And people
yeah.
and people will call each other that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And they would have that
There's
label.
certain phrases.
Yes.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say it, but there's certain
Yeah.
phrases within the police department where you become labeled as that person.
And y'all seen that happen, not particularly.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. So, and it's just like anything else, right? I mean, who wants to have that label on them and who wants that around them, right? And so that's just my opinion. I don't know if Mike has a different opinion or not. It's usually that you're going to hears similar things, right? But
Well, for me, for a little while, I did internal affairs. Like I
you
conducted
go.
investigations
Oh,
on bad
word,
officers.
word. I rock with internal
He definitely has
affairs.
some more
Oh,
insight.
love
I,
that.
Definitely.
I tell people once
Yeah.
again, you brought a problem with a solution,
Yep.
and my job was never to when I was in those roles, I wasn't trying to hem people up. I was just
Yeah.
trying to understand the facts. If you did something wrong, you did something wrong.
Right.
If
Mess
you
up.
didn't do anything wrong, you didn't do anything wrong. But I believe if you do something wrong, you should be held accountable. That's all of us in life. That ain't just uniform, police, non-police. If you do something wrong, take accountability. That's life. I tell my son, he's 13. If you do something wrong, don't lie to me about it. Accept it and take whatever punishment you're going to get, but just take it. And it's going to be a lot better if you do it that way. So for me, I did do internal affairs for a while. I was a lead investigator, and I seen a lot of things, and I experienced a lot of things, and it hurts the whole profession.
Did you get flack for being internal affairs? Like
I didn't have
cops
friends.
not like you.
Correct. I didn't have friends. Like, and that's the thing that people don't know. Like you got to think, like when you're investigating other people. When I was in those roles, I didn't have friends. It was
In the force.
Yeah. I didn't have. I couldn't, because people look at me, and there's another podcast by Marlon Marucci.
Yeah.
And it's called, and he does a lot of things about internal affairs.
Right.
They looked at like my role as the boogeyman.
Yeah.
I showed up, and the whole room would clear.
But how you the bully, man, if they ain't doing nothing wrong?
But it don't matter. Yeah. But that's what. And they don't know what you don't. They don't know what I know.
Yeah.
Because just like everything else, like in my role, well, the role back then, people will tell you things, even when you don't want to hear it. So now I'm in a role to where I have to look at people differently, but still treat them with respect. And I still have to be the person that gives them a chance to tell their story. Or I have to be ready to understand that might be someone else's opinion on what they did. Not they really did it, because we know people misconceive things all the time. And sometimes they would tell me like, hey, Mike, I think Jill did this. Well, do you have any facts? Nah, it's just my gut tells me she did that. And I'm like, that doesn't mean she did it. So it's interesting. You definitely lose a lot of friends in that role.
Yeah. And I think also, I guess, and I'll ask you, what are, I think people have a different idea of what doing bad things is. Like, I mean, obviously, let's say planting a gun or planting dope on somebody. We all know that's unacceptable, right? Diabolical,
Yeah,
right?
it
That's
is.
the highest
I
level,
agree.
right?
I agree.
But there's also different levels of mistakes, right? Because you have to keep in mind, police officers were human beings. We're not perfect, right? We have training, right? But we do make bad decisions sometimes. And there's elements why we do that, right? It could be because you haven't slept all week, right? And I say that to say that, let's say an officer was short, rude, or what we would label discourteous. Right?
Discourteous. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's
a
against
good one.
policy.
Yeah.
Technically, it's against policy. But is that really on the same level as planting dope on somebody? Not even close, right? So I think there's different levels of officers messing up, and I think, and this is my opinion, you can tell me if you think this. I think people expect us to be perfect on every level, whether it's the discourtesy or the planting dope. Now, as officers, I'm not making excuses. We should absolutely be presenting ourselves in a different way than everyone else. There's a different bar for us. We get that from the moment we start the job. We understand there's a different bar for us. And
Easily.
we accept that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
However, we're not perfect.
We're humans, yeah.
We're human people. We're going to make mistakes. And so sometimes it feels like people want to crucify us for absolutely everything. Like there's no area. People always say, pilots, they don't, or they compare pilots to officers. They're not allowed to make mistakes. Do you know they're not making mistakes? How do you know that pilots aren't making mistakes? Right? You don't know that.
There's not as many pilots as there are cops. I can tell you that.
Too. And pilots
It is
aren't.
a different.
Yeah, and pilots aren't
And
dealing
pilots
with.
don't work with people all day
Yeah.
either. They're in a cockpit by themselves.
They might
for
come out and say,
hours.
hey, they might come and say the flight's delayed every once in a while,
Right,
or greet you when you
right.
come in and out. But
Right. And you don't know a pilot made a mistake until a plane crashed. Right? And while they're flying, you don't know if they messed up.
Dang, that's
You don't-
crazy, because those are like you both have people's lives at your hands. But man, yes,
Right?
the weight of a cop would be way more than a pilot. Yeah,
Yes.
because people see the pilot, oh, they're doing something for me, but they don't see that with the police. Like they see the police. A lot of people see the police as opposition,
Yeah.
as an enemy.
you mentioned though, if you're committing crime, if you doing what you're not supposed to be doing, you don't really have a right to be upset with the police, right? Like
You can't have it both ways. Like you can't be like, oh man, I stole that bag of chips, but I don't know why
And
they're
they're
arresting
harassing
me.
me,
Yeah,
right.
I don't know why. I just hit this other car. I don't know why they're trying to blame it on me,
Right,
dude. You were
right.
driving the car. Like why are you mad at me? That because you were drinking.
Right.
Like why are you mad at me?
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's and I know that's a common response when people, well, the good cops don't check the bad cops. You don't know that.
The good oh yeah, right.
You know?
right,
Oh, we
right,
do.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
we check each
Well,
other.
yeah.
Yeah. Trust me.
And
There,
he knows
there's a
from
whole checks and
someone.
balances system, but
Yes.
sometimes
Yes.
sometimes people just do too much.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it in our society.
Man.
Like sometimes, let's go to Minnesota, George Floyd, that whole incident up there.
Oh, I got a whole question.
No,
around.
but what I'm saying, that's just one person doing too much.
Right.
That's not the whole 80,000 police officers in
When
this
you
country.
say,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
cop was
yeah,
doing
but
too
but
much,
we
right?
were labeled, and something I talked about on her show is one of the reasons why, because I have a leadership development business where I go around doing like motivational speaking on like uncertainty, resilience. What started that was because of that incident, we lost so much of our workforce because people couldn't handle the pressure of that much criticism,
Right.
and then people didn't want to enter it because for let's say your average cop makes $50,000 a year. Why am I gonna go get cursed out for
Right.
$50,000 a year? Like knowing you're coming to the industry.
I made another. Now that I think about it, I made another song when the George Floyd came out. I was speaking on that. But speaking of George Floyd, how does it feel when something like that happens and you guys have to go to work the next day? Like, how is that?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Because we know we're gonna be picking up the pieces.
Yep.
I was in Texas when that happened. Nowhere close to Minnesota. Even Minnesota today, like that state is still rough around the edges because of that incident.
Still hasn't recovered.
Because think about it, we can literally associate, what was that, 2020, 2021?
Yeah.
6 years ago, and we can still talk about it to this day. So if we're thinking about it, and we all have positive mindsets on things, think about the people that don't have the positive mindsets. And think about the image they're saying. They for a while, people were like, oh, every cop's like that.
Yeah.
No matter what,
Right.
no matter if you were working in L.A., you're working in New York, Miami, street cop, you worked in the prison system, everybody had a view of if you enforce the law, we all felt it.
You were here. You
Yeah.
were Chauvin.
Yeah, you're a Chauvin.
automatically
Yeah,
him.
every single
Automatic.
person. And then you had to go home and respond to that too with your family because your
Yeah.
family was getting it too.
Right.
Oh, your family is hearing it from other people
Yes.
about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because think that cops have families, they have kids that go to school,
Mhm.
right? So their kids at school, and they know
kids
they know
bullied.
exactly. They know their
Ooh,
dad's a
it's
cop.
deep.
Your dad's a murderer.
Yeah. And kids are
Right?
tough. We all know how tough kids are.
Exactly, and they're
Kid-
cruel. They can be cruel, not unknowingly, but they can be cruel.
Yeah.
Right.
Kids for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they filter,
But other
yeah.
adults too. And adults that should know better, now they're looking at you like, nah, we can't be friends no more because you're a cop.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Right.
Because of what happened in Minnesota? Yeah, like, no, this is negative image.
Have y'all ever wanted to quit?
Me, no.
No, not me.
Wow.
I've only even during that darkest time in law enforcement, it just made me want to become better
Right.
because now I knew I had to be part of a bigger solution.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't sit on the side, like I couldn't sit on the sidelines, and I couldn't just keep watching our industry suffer. That's to say, that's why I like my speaking business. That's why I started pushing even harder back in 2021. Right after that, because I was like, wait, either I'm part of the problem and I'm going to let us keep failing, or I want to see this profession grow, and I'm going to figure out how to use my voice to elevate other people's minds.
This
Okay.
podcast was birthed from that too.
Yeah.
Same thing. It was like, nah, I got to do something to try to fix this.
Yeah.
Try to mend this relationship. So same thing. It actually did the opposite. I think it motivated both of us.
But because it takes
It
everybody.
sucked in
It
the
takes
moment.
everybody.
Yeah.
Like either you're
Yeah.
trying to build, and I know that I can't be everywhere, but if I can build some officers' minds like through our podcast, through your audience, then that's winning.
Yeah.
Because that's
But
saving
y'all-
one more.
y'all do need help from the
Yeah.
community, and like
We all need help.
I don't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want to keep perpetuating what's been going on because it hasn't helped, bro. Like,
Right. We're doing the same thing and nothing's changed.
bruh, yeah,
Just something
like,
different.
that F the police mentality is not helping. Like, I think of it like this, right? If it's F the police, right? That's birthing, this hatred in me,
Yeah.
and then that's building a guard up for y'all. So now when you are in a situation where you get pulled over by police, you tense because you got this mentality. Then And then the police officer tense because I know this community hates me. Now it's just a tense situation, and then no wonder a lot of times it'll end up in
Some type of force being used, right?
some force
Absolutely.
being used. Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
A
You
lot,
just
a lot of
described
times,
it.
a lot of times when we see bad use of forces, and I know I can say it's usually because officers are burned out. And
Like
people,
they
Yeah.
just fed up.
and they're not even fed up. They're just tired. Maybe they've been
Right.
working too many hours.
Yep.
Maybe they've had a bad day. Maybe their kid
Yeah.
is sick. Maybe they just got fussed at by their school because
They
they're
haven't
people.
eaten all day.
They haven't eaten all day.
And
They
is that
That's
because it's
legit.
not enough?
correct.
Oh,
It-
so
it-
there's a shortage of officers.
Oh,
Absolutely. Oh, it's rough right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's rough right now.
Absolutely. And part of that is because of George Floyd, right? We're having a hard time recruiting people because of the idea that this is not an honorable job and that all cops are bad, right? And even I'll even ask you, what do you think? I mean, obviously you're doing the rap thing, so you wouldn't apply. Would you think that there are a lot of young kids who want to be cops?
I
What would be
think
your thought?
I think there is a lot of
Yeah.
young kids that want to be cops, but they scared
Of?
because of what y'all face. Like they're scared to not be liked or be shunned by their whole community, called a coward. So I do think,
Yeah.
man, I don't think it's possible for there to be all these kids and none of them want to be
Wanna be.
officers. Like there was
Mhm.
even one time, you growing up, you like, oh, I want to be police, or I
Yeah.
want to be a firefighter.
Right.
Like I'm sure I've like wrote that on a little piece of paper in like kindergarten or something.
Halloween costume, right?
You definitely have cop.
Yeah.
There's definitely Halloween. On Halloween, I do see cop. I do
Yes,
see cop
you do.
all the time. I'm like, oh, that little kid got a. Hey, someone give him an application.
Right.
So
I'm gonna give you
yeah.
6 pieces of candy
Yeah, exactly.
today.
Give him a little gold badge. Give him the gold badge.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like every year, mail him a gold badge so he don't forget that he had the uniform at 6 years old. Let's just keep.
What do you think
Yeah.
we can do then? What do you think we can do? Because I'm sure there's people watching, right? What can we do to get them to not be afraid to do
Deter,
it?
yeah.
What do you think?
We doing it. We
Just
doing.
doing it,
I made the
alright.
song for them.
Yeah.
I feel like the song was like it was
Yeah.
like a 4-in-1. Like I
Mhm.
made the song for them kids
Right.
that do want to be officers. Like C5.
Said it's cool.
C5 said it's cool. Yeah.
So how do you think we directly get to them? Like what? Like I know. Like so, we always talk about like recruiting. That's something big that we do.
Yes. It's huge.
What do you think that looks like to recruit some of the ones that have that fear? Like, what do you think they would want to hear from like an officer or somebody that would say, hey, you know what? This is why you shouldn't be afraid.
That's a great question.
I always have one. That I'm holding
Yeah.
on to because we're trying to.
Yeah.
This is real world stuff we're talking
Right.
about.
These are
Like-
things that
like, I-
departments are thinking about
Yeah.
and trying to figure out across the country.
I think if they see y'all be like cool with the community and loved by the community, it would be, less. It would be more acceptable. Or
What does that look like though? Like get like what are some examples? Like I know we do a lot of like
giving back to the community? Y'all do
Okay.
any like some giving back?
We do
thing?
every year. Mostly every city I know does back to school backpacks.
Yeah.
That's something that like I know I've seen law enforcement across the country.
Do some events and book me to perform.
That's what I'm talking. See, I've been waiting. I've been trying to get you on this for 30 minutes. I've been trying to get this out of you for 30 minutes. Like God, now you want to say I've been trying to get this for 30 minutes.
like
You get
it.
the community
I like
on,
it.
get
No, I
get
agree.
the local artists like
Yeah.
at the to perform.
Yeah.
Stuff
To almost
like that.
vouch for the cops in a sense.
Yeah,
Or
like
show a partnership. To
A
show like, hey, we're
partnership. Okay.
our partnership is here
Yeah.
to bring the community up.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what we're trying to do to
Mhm.
grow. Like we're not trying to like. Why are we fighting each other? Like
Yeah.
we should be united because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to survive and live. Let's do it happily versus angrily.
Yeah, and I think if more, like-minded people, like or people in the community, like seen that and joined, then I think it would make everything better. Cause now you got people that's actually from the community policing the community, opposed to somebody that's from way out.
Right. And they don't understand
They
the
don't
culture of the
understand.
community.
They don't
Absolutely.
understand. Now
I
you got a
understand that.
familiar face.
Yeah.
And then us in the community have to see that familiar face and embrace that familiar face instead of, oh, you sold out. It's like,
Right.
oh, no, like, I'm glad you in the neighborhood
Mhm.
looking out for us.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's so true. That's so true. Do you have any more questions that you wanted to ask us?
Yeah, what's the biggest misconception of being a police officer?
The biggest misconception, kind of mentioned it earlier that we're perfect and that we don't struggle. He kind of mentioned it. Wellness. I don't know if you know this, but suicide is the #1 cause of death for officers. #1. It's not shootings. It's not car accidents. It's not even DUI, which they do a lot of drinking.
They do, yeah.
But suicide is the #1 cause of death, right? And now to me, it shows the correlation is that we struggle, right? We struggle with wellness, right? Whether it is being exposed to trauma, right? You go to a call and you see a baby that's been abused. You got to go home and act like nothing happened.
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna ask you, like, how do y'all deal with like the stuff y'all see? How do y'all sleep, or how is that affecting you on an everyday basis?
I think because suicide is the #1 cause of death, it shows that we're not doing that well, right? And that's not a diss to officers. I think it's just because you mentioned it yesterday, we've been trained to constantly be, how'd you word it, to
Have emotional armor.
emotional armor.
Yeah.
Perfect, right? Because the idea is when you call me, you don't want me to show up and be crying at the situation. When you call me, you expect me to be there to control the scene and handle it, right? I can't be all emotional in that moment. And so over time, you build that emotional armor. And it's not just at work anymore, it's at home, right? It's with your spouse, it's with your kids, it's with your friends, it's with your family. And unfortunately, the idea of going to therapy is looked at as has a stigma as if it's weak.
Right. I go to
Right?
therapy.
I go to therapy.
I
I
do
know
too.
better.
I do too. I do too. Trust
I
me.
know
y'all-
better.
that's
I do
why
too.
y'all
I trust you.
There
I,
you go.
I got a
Exactly.
appointment, and yes, I do mine once a month.
Exactly. And
I
I
love it.
also
I
mentioned
love it. I love it.
right?
I love it.
People
Yeah. Oh, you do buy yes. I used to. Yeah. I do monthly for sure. I'm all in.
That's
And I
lit.
think
I'm
part of
all
the once I found out that suicide was the #1 cause of death, it made me upset because I know how many good officers are struggling. And then I was actually my therapist actually told me this. So our department, we have an entire behavioral science unit. Thankfully for us, we have a whole unit that is assigned to us that we can contact 24/7, right? Every agency across the country does not have that.
Many don't. Many
And
don't.
70%, she told me she said, you guys are very fortunate. 70% of the agencies across the country do not have that. Officers have to either seek it on their own or go outside, or they just don't do it, which chances are they just don't do it, right? And so I think, to me, I think that's the hardest part, is being able to be willing to identify it and deal with it, right? Because it affects every part of your life. We may act like it doesn't, but it does. It affects every part of your life. That's in my opinion. I don't know how Mike feels, but that's what I think is probably the hardest or biggest misconception is that we don't struggle like everyone else.
Yeah.
For me, the biggest misconception is that we do it for the money.
Mm.
We don't do this for the money because there's a lot more careers that people can get paid for a lot better. We do it because we love what we do. It's about passion. It's about a calling. It's about wanting to help the community out. And we do this for them because it's something that, like I tell people, with having a business and working in law enforcement, there's definitely a financial gap. And it's always interesting because I know a lot of like retired sheriffs and chiefs that are making more money now in the private sector than they were when they worked in law enforcement. So I tell people we don't do this for the money. Yes, the money and the benefits good, but we do it because we have a true passion for helping people out. And what we're sacrificing usually is our well-being and our families. We're doing it for them. We're doing it for the community because we want to be their protector when it's 1 a.m. in the morning and something bad's happening and they call us. Because who else are they calling? You're not calling the fire department. You're not calling EMS. You're not calling your CPA. You're calling the police. And we want to make sure we show up to help you out. And sometimes people forget that that's what we're here for. And I think the money thing is people think we're doing it for the money. We're not. We're doing it all just because we love people.
I don't know if we wrapping up, but I got like 2 more questions.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what time it is either, but
Hey, she the one with the clock. She paid for the room,
Yeah.
so I
we
mean,
can make this maybe 2 sessions. We'll get 2 sessions out of it. Go for it.
All right, yes, all right, 2 more.
Go.
I was gonna ask, in the comments, they also, or like a lot of people would say that police stem from, the police was actually meant to, I guess, like do something with the slaves. Keep the slaves in line. Like that's what it derived
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, that was a history. Yeah.
Yeah. So the history. Yeah. what is that history, and how y'all feel about that?
Well, it's my understanding is that obviously when the police were created long ago, that was one of their duties, right? Was to capture slaves or slave captures.
Yeah.
I guess that was the first forms of policing. They weren't called the police at the time. They were called. I actually did some reading because I did a podcast on it. But essentially, they were slave catchers, and that was the first forms of policing. And I think that's what people are referring to.
Right.
My thoughts on it, obviously, didn't like it. I don't like the idea of it, but that was a different time. We don't have slaves anymore. That was what their responsibility was, right? Was to catch slaves. Do I like it? No, of course not. I'm black, right? That's my ancestry, right? And my family's from the South. So my dad actually grew up under Jim Crow laws. Like he knows what it's like to drink out of a black only water fountain, right? He knows what it's like to walk with your head down and not be able to look at white people. Granted, he told us all those stories, but he also taught us not to mistreat people because of color of skin, because of what he experienced, right? So it's not. I mean, obviously, it's not. It's not a good thing to think about that happened. But what else? What can we do? What can we do about that now, right?
Things should be allowed to evolve, right?
Absolutely, 100%, right? And even if you that transition, so the slave catching transitioned into segregation, and that transitioned into Jim Crow laws, where, like I said, the black only, white only, that was part of law. They were doing their job. Did it still suck? Yeah, right. But
Wow.
ultimately, that was the law. Like if you couldn't eat at this counter because you were black, that was the law. That was no different than I don't know, being 18 and not being able to buy alcohol. It's a law that had
Or
to be
marijuana.
enforced.
Marijuana
Yeah,
in different
exactly.
states. Yeah, how over the last
Exactly.
20 years, that's changed a lot.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
And that's just was the law. We can't. That's what it was. Does it make it okay? Absolutely not. Was it horrible? Absolutely. And we have to acknowledge that. But things have changed. I mean, I don't know what your perspective is on it.
Of course, things have changed. I go deeper. I'm like, why is this person even bringing this up in the comments? Like, where is their mind at? That's what I would want to know. Like, if you're talking about slavery and cops being the slave catchers, like,
Yeah.
what? I want to help you out. Like, whoever said that comment, I want to help that person out because whatever they have going on is a lot deeper than what the thank you video, or thank you officer video was. And that's kind of people we want to reach. It's like if you're thinking about that in 2026 and that's the first thing you associate with the police, then there's a lot other things going on in your life. What can we do to help with that? Because I don't, based on that, what she said, the best explanation, I'm not going to do any better than that. I don't think that's what we are. I don't think that's what we are at all. I think there's laws that have to be enforced. I believe that laws do change for the right reasons, and somebody has to enforce them. And it's like we want law until we break them, and then when we break them, then we're mad at somebody else. And there's certain things that there's things that are moral things and immoral. Like you said, slavery, segregation, Jim Crow laws, that was all immoral. But there's also moral things that we know we shouldn't do, and that's what I believe laws are really for. It's like, should you sexually abuse a child? No.
Right.
And who's going to enforce that? Obviously, so you see what I'm saying? Somebody, and that's things that people don't think about, and that's when they're like, well, we shouldn't have this law, those police there, until something bad happens, until your grandma's getting assaulted. Then who are you gonna call? You want someone to come there you want someone to come protect your grandma, right? And that's what I tell people. So that person that left the comment, if they leave another comment or watch this, I'll be like, they can reach out to me and let's just have a regular comment because I want to see what's deeper going on.
Yeah.
Like if you're thinking like that and your mind's there, what else do you need help with? Because it ain't a police issue with you, that person. It's not. It's deeper for them too.
So
and like,
another trauma
yeah,
underneath
that's
the
trauma. Like, how do we? We all talk about we go to therapy. Hey, can we suggest therapy for you? Because if that's what your mind's going to, then that's a bigger issue. Whenever I see stuff that's kind of like very deep like that, it's like, oh man, what is that person going through at home?
There was truth. There's truth to it. That's what it was. But it wasn't the same police that you see
Correct.
today.
Right.
You know?
I'm not the same person I
Yeah.
was back when I was
No,
in the
absolutely.
game. You know, I
There
think
weren't
things-
slaves. We aren't slaves. We were very free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our job's to get better. Our job's to get better.
Yeah.
Evolve. You said the word earlier. Evolve. That's our
Evolution.
job.
Very free.
That's what we do.
Evolution. And like my last question was, what's the perks of being an ally with the police? Like, why would me or anybody else out there want to be cool with the police or even try to, build a relationship with officers?
That's a good question.
Because we're all people. We're all
There you go.
humans. We
I
owe
like
it
it.
to each other to have a community. We live and pay the same taxes as the next person. We go to the same grocery stores. Where our kids go to the same schools. We all want to work together.
Mhm.
It's like I'm trying to think of a job. Why do I want to have a good relationship with my doctor? Well, because my doctor's trying to help me out. I don't want to be an a-hole to my doctor.
Mhm.
The benefit of having that connection to police is that most of us, I would say 99% of us, but there
Mhm.
is that 1%. I
Yeah.
mean, that we talked about the bad officers. 99% want to be there for you.
Yeah.
So why won't you use something that's
You saying 99%?
are good?
That's a vast majority,
99%?
Yeah.
honestly.
You'd be
Oh,
surprised.
really?
You'd
Yeah.
be very surprised how many
All right,
people.
99% is high.
It is.
Like,
It is.
I gotta.
I'm optimistic in
You
people.
feel like
Yeah.
99% of the force is good.
But I'm gonna tell you this. You know why I say that? Because the same hope I have in police, I have in my community.
But if we being realistic though, like
Yeah.
you feel like
I
99% of the force.
I think a lot of people have good in them. I believe most people have good in them.
Yeah.
And think about it. If I had that concept about the community,
But 99% are doing good. I feel
Yes.
like we all
Yeah.
have the capability to do good.
Yeah.
But 99% of the
Yeah.
force, wow.
yeah,
There's
I
a vast, a
Yeah.
huge amount of people.
and
that
I'm
think
sure
they're
there's some college professor that's probably done research that could
Right,
probably
he could
push
probably
against
tell
me.
you.
But
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying is
once
my
we hit
experience.
90.
My experience is most of the people I've dealt with, and I'm not naive because trust me, I was in internal affairs. There's some bad people out there. I believe there's 99% of the force that's doing right
Wow.
and at least trying to do right. Just like I get to community, even you may have committed a crime, but I'm looking at you as trying to figure out what made you do that crime.
And you feel like 99 of that percent is not racist as well?
I don't think it's. I don't think there's many racists, and I think that term is going to shift in certain areas, right?
Yeah.
I think as you go further south, where there's still a lot of fragments of racism,
Yeah.
you're probably going to find more opportunities for that. I think as you come further this way
Mhm.
towards the north, it may be less than. Um,
But I want to add, are we talking about races or stereotypes?
yeah,
Because we all have stereotypes in us.
Yeah. or even bias, right? We
Bias,
talked
yes.
about that,
We all have bias in us, right?
Every person has a bias.
Every single person has a bias. So are we going to categorize
don't know where we're
bias
still
as racist? And that's
Wrap it up.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're wrapping up. But you see what I'm saying? Like, and that's what I asked you, like, because I've done racist investigations before, and sometimes is it true or is it a stereotype that we all have of some sort about somebody?
Yeah. Is it an assumption?
Yeah,
or-
assumption. Yeah. And can it be changed? A lot of times it can. Because once we said, what are people exposed to? Is how they're going to think.
Yeah.
And what our goal here with the human side and L.E.O. First podcast and C5 is to bridge that gap so we can minimize those things of racism, stereotypes, bad police, like bad community. We're trying to take all that negative and try to just make it good. We're trying to look at the other side.
The
Right.
other side.
What's
it.
going on?
I like
And
it.
even
I
being on
like
this
it.
side, I still
it.
can understand someone on that side, and I think that's what really is gonna bridge everything. Like understanding, I understand you and pain. I understand that you had a rough experience growing up
Mhm.
with the police. I understand that, but is your current understanding serving where you want to go in life?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
If you want to keep that and you want to keep creating what you're creating, go right ahead.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to liberate your mind so you could create a different experience for yourself.
I
I'm
love that.
going to add
That's-
one more thing to his. Life's about business. Business is based on positive relationships. So when we talk about why is it good for the community to love the police, because it's all about business. The more positive,
The more business could be.
yeah,
the
there
more
you
money
go.
we
See
can
now,
make.
yeah,
We
that's
don't make no money
yeah.
when we funking.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
exactly. When
There
you
you
angry,
go.
the Benjamins, they're not
They
designed to be.
slow
Yeah,
down.
yeah, they slow down. How do we build money? And that's a whole other conversation itself.
Right.
But we build money through positivity.
Yeah.
When you don't,
Yeah.
and relationships.
Yeah.
That's why. That's the
100.
purse because everybody should be on the same page.
If it ain't positivity, it's poverty.
Ooh, I like that, yeah.
It is. Yo, we probably could sit here and talk all night, low key. But there are time frames that we have to adhere to. Listen, Mike, thanks you for putting this together. Shout out to you big time. Thank you for coming, right? And being on the drop of dime coming out. Hopefully this isn't our last conversation. I know Mike lives in Houston. Maybe you can come back out. Or
Oh, you don't have to
maybe
worry
we can
about me.
have-
I always show up somewhere.
There you go. We
Yeah,
can
we
have
lock-
this
we locked
conversation.
in. We locked
Listen,
in, man.
maybe we can have this conversation. And I don't know if you want to send us out the L.E.O podcast. You want me to,
I know is that we got to get the pod place to come to Houston. So I know they had a meeting, or we got to get some setups, and we get another setup like this because they're the ones that made this work. But
There you
yeah,
go.
go ahead and hey, close
Absolutely.
this out because I know I jumped in early.
No, you're good. You're good. Listen, thank you again. Thank you guys for watching. We're gonna put all your information
For sure.
in the on the bottom of the notes here, as well as as for Mike. Listen to the song if you haven't already.
It's called Thank You Officer.
Thank you,
It's
officer.
on YouTube right now, but we about to put it on the platform so y'all could be in y'all cruiser slapping.
Man,
Oh, okay, yeah.
exactly. Put the top.
We're gonna
down,
open up
you
roll
know?
calls with that.
Right, can you imagine in the police car? That'd be dope. Anywho, listen, thank you guys for tuning into another episode of The Human Side with Officer Jill, with the special collaboration with the L.E.O podcast. You know what I always tell you? Listen, if you show me your human side, as you can see, I'll show you mine. Hit that like and follow button.
Wait, real quick. What is
Go for it.
L.E.O? What is that?
The law enforcement officer. So is this the acronym?
It's an
He
acronym.
was like
What is Leo?
who's the Leo in
is
here?
Leo?
Who's Leo? It's the
Leo
L.
is
I thought they was
acronym.
saying they was like they signed.
Yeah, no, the Leo, law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
It's just an acronym. You know, we love acronyms.
We love
You know that. There's an acronym everywhere.
Got you, say less.
So you learn a lot just from sitting and talking with us, right? I love it. I love it. Hey, if you guys want to holler at me, you want to have a conversation with me on the podcast, hit me up. My information's on the bottom. As you can see, I'm willing to talk to anybody. Rule is, you have to be respectful though, right? So you guys have a good day. Be safe. Peace.